make these places better for people and citizens. So I would like to talk a little bit about the process. About a year ago, MUA has initiated this research, and first of all, we made some lectures. We had some guests from Barcelona to have how to say more to gain a perspective about international experience and how it's done in Europe. We also had workshops. We worked with 4 different students from 4 different universities, and we made some urban studies. And afterwards, we went directly to the sites to see what's happening there. We made some photographs and collected some sounds there. And what's important to say that in Tbilisi, most of the factories and industrial sites are private ownership. So it was really hard to get inside of the building or even in the courtyards. But somehow we managed to do this with some help of owners and so on. Actually, most of them are in really poor conditions, and they don't work anymore with the same function as they worked before, because now they are rented out for some private owners, and they organize there some micro factories. So almost of the factories, most of them doesn't work anymore. As I said before, we made some urban studies, and as it seems, in urban landscape of Tbilisi, the industrial sites may take 17% of the city of Tbilisi. It's also very important and really interesting that the industrial sites are placed and located alongside the river and alongside the railway. Yes, of the Tbilisi and the industrial sites. Here you can see only 20 of them, because this was our selection. Actually, we've got more than 200 industrial buildings in Tbilisi. And as I said before, you can see very clearly that all of the industrial buildings are located alongside the river and alongside the railway. I also wanted to say that somehow the river and railway shaped the industrial pattern of development of Tbilisi. Yes, so. Also very important is that we made a selection of these buildings and made an exhibition in October. We've selected 20 buildings in all of the Tbilisi from one end to another. We had photographs and also videos, sounds, and also so-called artifacts, as you see in this picture. Here on the table, as a reminiscence of old history and how to say industrial sites. These are the objects we collected when we went directly to the courtyards, or even when we could go inside the buildings. We just collected the books and from the library and the posters and so on. Yeah, we also collected memories from past. As you see in the first picture on the left, the development was really huge. It has not only the factory buildings, but also the the housing for the workers. So in Tbilisi now we have a lot of settlements where they are called cognac settlement, for example, because it was all the workers were living there. So even now, after 20 and 30 years, they still have the name of the factory. Here you also see the workers of the factory. it's really important to see the story of these people, because they were how to say, specialized in some different fields, and they did their jobs at their best. And how this I really like this Georgian newspaper, how said that this woman was really she showed the dedication, so they were really how to say, dedicated to their work. And I think they were really loved it, you know. So now I will go directly to the architecture. As you know, in Georgia, industrialization started from 19th century. These factories were built, how to say, more individual projects. They were more decorated and built in bricks. Afterwards, it's also really important to say that Georgian architects had their vision how to build industrial factories. Here you can see one example with Georgian elements, so-called aged arcs, and these towers are really typical for Georgian, Western Georgian architecture. You can see the similar towers in mountainous villages. Yes, but afterwards, when Soviet era began, the industrialization gained more power, and it had more large-scale factories. But actually, now at these times, like in 30s, it was more important to build with local materials, with concrete and local stones, because it was more cheaper, and they didn't wanted to. They really wanted to make typical projects, not the individual ones without any decorations, just a pure function. Yes, this is the example when how to say, the metallurgy and working on concretes was really helpful, because people managed to make really huge spaces for the industry. They have now, as you see, they have reinforced concrete construction and really huge spaces for machinery and other goods. And this factory was built actually in 80s, where you see that now, how to say, form follows function. Without any decoration, they are making really pure rectangular shapes, just to make the price make less. And they have just really huge openings for windows, for natural lights, and how to say, really pragmatic design. It ends. Everything ends with Soviet Union collapse. On the left side, you see the tea waiting factory. I think this photo was taken in 50s. And on the right, you see the picture made this year. It's actually the collapse of Soviet Union had its geopolitical and economical reasons. The main and the main reason was that factories could not get any primary goods, because everything in Soviet Union was connected. So tea factory could not gain the how to say, goods and materials from other countries. So everything collapsed, and what's the really sad story is the people and the workers were left without jobs. So their intellectual and physical resources was not needed anymore. And so somehow in 5 to 10 years after Soviet Union collapse, everything was really collapsed, how to say, yeah. I really love this picture yes, because it shows how industrial sites look like today. It's a really old car from Soviet Union, but somehow it's really damaged. But on halfway it's covered. So do the industrial sites today look like? So they are standing still, but they are really damaged and halfway demolished. As it's in this picture, it's like similar to this car. What's going on today? It's really interesting to see what's going on in industrial sites today. People who were somehow adaptively reused these places. As you see, they transformed the spaces into markets or into storage for old car parks or even for housing, but in really poor conditions. But this really shows the need of the people. What do they need to have and what they are lack of. Now these pictures show how to say the mood we need, I think every architect when planning something new should listen to the citizens and even just needs to see what they want. As you see here, there is a self-made chair. Maybe these people need some place to rest, or when you see this old mosaic fountain without water, maybe they need some place for recreation. And I really do love this picture on the left. It says in Georgian, "It's really hot, please us rest," because it's I took this photo on one of the factories where a former bread factory, which now is transformed into plastic bags, not factory, but like micro industry. And I think these are the pictures that really show what do people need and what citizens need actually. This is the last page, and here I wanted to show you that what do urban planners and architects need to think of. I think the most important is in transformation to keep the memory of the place and the spirit. This picture is from a coal mining factory in Essen, which Oma, our beloved Remkul, has transformed it. And here, even when this factory is transformed into a museum and it's totally different function now, here you can see that the elevators move in the same direction as the coal did during the production. Actually, this is just an association, but somehow architects tried to keep the spirit of the building and even the distribution in the factory. So I think our role as an architect and urban planners is to somehow keep really, we need to transform it obviously, but somehow we need to care about the context, care about the surrounding area, and because I think architects do have how to say ability to create the moods of the people and for the citizens. So we have actually responsibility to create work which will be beneficial to society, how to say. And also, yeah, I think the responsibility is the perfect word because it depends. It really depends what we will do, because we are responsible to create quality life for the citizens, because it won't disappear in like 1 and 2 years. Somehow, what we will do, it will stay for many years. So it's really important to think about beforehand we do something. So Actually, this was really my short presentation, and this page is for the credits for the people and for the organizations who made this research happen. I'm really thankful for MUA and Tbilisi Architecture Biennial for giving us this opportunity to present our work for you. And also, as Nata said, our exhibition, you can visit our exhibition on Biennial website, floor 57, and also on our website. You can check it, and it's a virtual tour, so you will have all the information about this selection of our objects and photos and sounds and everything. It's everything in English, so it will be very easy for you to understand everything. So yeah, thank you for listening, and I would gladly hear your questions or maybe your suggestions about the topic and about industrial heritage reuse.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Someone wants to ask something or comments on the presentation from the students, maybe?
I have a question to people from Skopje, to you. Is in the frames of the industrial heritage in your city, is there some kind of similar areas, or was the city connected to this big industrial family of Soviet Union? And do you also have like similar problems in the city in case of former industrial like brownfields and the buildings?
Someone from participants from Skopje maybe wants to answer? Or you're still sleeping in the morning? Okay, so it's not so developed, let's say, this thing as it's in Spain or it's in Italy. I mean, I've seen in Italy and Spain very good works, but here there is like beginning of this, but still not very successful. There is one maybe industrial space that is transformed into public room, it's called, like cultural thing. But also we had like one big discussion about one factory, Tresca, which is in the middle of the city, and mainly what they want to do is to destroy it and create residential buildings. So it's still on a discussion level. Like, we don't really have some projects, maybe researches there are, like in frames of the faculties and like master thesis, etc., but not real reconstructions and usage of these buildings. And there is one organization like Meleem, but another, Cultural Echoes is called, and they're working specifically about this in Skopje. But still, they are still just organizing conferences, debates, discussions. So I think we're a little bit far at the moment for this topic. Yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah, it's same in our case. There's only 2 or 3 locations in Tbilisi, the former industrial location. One of them is Fabrica, and another one is the like 2 artistic interventions.
Can you show us more a picture from Fabrica, because actually we have, I think no one have seen more pictures from it.
Yeah, Tata, can you do it?
Maybe can you tell us about how did you approach the project? How did you got permission to reconstruct the factory? Like, share us your experience with us so we can know it.
I think it will be better to show it directly on our website. Yeah, because Fabrica was former textile factory, which was standing still since 80s, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And it was placed in the district which was really abandoned. I don't have the old pictures, but now it looks like this. It was really the same, like pragmatic design, huge windows and rectangular shape. The most there, I think, yeah, it was textile, just for women and men, just clothing. Everything started in 2014 or 15 when MUA came up with this idea to transform this building into something different. Now it has a hostel for 400 beds and some different art residences, shops and cafes in the courtyard.
But what was the process? I mean, the government asked someone to reuse it, or you initiated to get reused?
Yeah, it was absolutely MUA's initiative, because the place was also in private ownership. So the developer bought, how to say, this place, and everything was made after MUA's ideas and project. Like, MUA initiated this project, and together with the developer, they made this contribution to the city. It was really abandoned in private ownership. I think there was some college or something, but it was just on the first floor. It looked really differently, actually. MUA made the intervention. As you see, everything is left bare. The walls are left bare. Even the construction and the wiring, yeah, everything is left really the ones they had in Soviet times. And what I wanted to say, that the one intervention MUA made is this staircase, because it was really important to adapt this new circulations and new how to say, standards for the architecture in the Soviet shape, how to say, because there are many regulations. They are really strict, and you need to transfer. We needed to transform it, how to say. And this is I think this stairs. It's wait, this one. Yes, this one. It's in the heart of the main building, and
but you have one picture from up. I think it's like with the red.
Yeah, this one.
It's
This
nice.
is the same. It's made in plywood, and the stairs are painted in red. So this stair is like the core of the building, and from this place you are how to say, the circulation is the main spot of circulation, how to say, main axis of circulation. And also the courtyard makes now in how to say, in the last 4 or 5 years, the Fabrika is a really important place for the young people. Even the taxi drivers know the place. So when you want to go to the Fabrika, you don't say the street number or the name of the street. You just say, I want to go to Fabrika, and every taxi driver knows where to go. So somehow this place really helped this district to be more popular and more, how to say, important part of the Tbilisi, because it's more residential district, and it doesn't have many functions, different functions. So Fabrika has shops, bars, a hostel, and really different types in it. So it's
and your
really
studio is inside.
Yes, our studio is also here. So we really enjoy to work here in this courtyard, and it's really nice atmosphere.
I found some previous images if you just want to have a look, just to have
really
an idea.
Inspiring project and story.
Yeah, we can't wait to come here the next year.
Great.
Okay, you will stop to, yeah, sorry.
I'll stop sharing, and
I will just show you because everyone thinks it's okay, it's so difficult, it's impossible, but I think this picture shows us that actually, well, it's possible.
Yeah.
So this is the public space that you transformed, like with the bench that you showed previously.
Yes, yes.
This is the main courtyard.
And this is the lobby now. Oh no, the upper level.
Yeah, this word.
And also Teodora was asking yesterday, like, why each of you, why everyone is saying fabrica, and our answer was also maybe that, and it is in connection with what Tata was saying, that it's our responsibility to create livable and functional spaces. So this is the work of architects. They created the whole program, all the functions that had to be there, and managed even today from architectural studios. So I think maybe this is one of the most core reasons of it.
I would also add that there is a big discussion when it was just opened, and until people would really like observe how it will work. Big discussion about the issue of the gentrification, what Fabrica could bring to this neighborhood. But now I think it's even not the topic of discussion anymore, because everyone saw that it really made the neighborhood, and because the program of the building and the processes that are happening there are well planned and analyzed. It serves as a space as well. I mean, Courtyard of Power is working for everyone. From people from neighborhood, and I have a lot of friends in that neighborhood, are very happy because of Fabrica. Even the older generation, because like one of the father of my friend who lives nearby was every day bringing his dog to the courtyard of Fabrica, and he knew everyone in the shops and the cafes and the studios of Fabrica because he was every day there. And there were lots of other neighbors like that. I mean, people really love to go because the atmosphere is nice and it's clean and it's organized, and everyone's welcome. It's not like go there and feel like I don't belong here. It welcomes like every kind of people, youngs and rich and poors and olds and like Tbilisi type guys who were really special on this area. So it's welcoming from everyone, and I think that is what makes it like very special place. And now even I have not application critique for Fabrica, because before it was a main topic. Before, the main critique that Fabrica was accepting was the gentrification questions and how it could make the place gentrified. But now it actually is like a proof that yes, there is some part of gentrification. I mean, the neighborhood became more expensive. It's like it gets fancy now. Some galleries are to the neighborhood, very important clubs and so on and so on. So it started to make more mozid varogorari. I don't remember this word in English. I mean, it influences people to get, and so many different activities are coming nearby Fabrica, but in a good way. And we have a really bad example. When you will be in Tbilisi, I will definitely go there, and you can. We have a renovated street in the same neighborhood, which was done from this moment, which is totally gentrified. And if you compare the two places to each other, it's you cannot even. The discussion is ending there, because you will see how much gentrification happened to be there on the street, where all the residents were off from their living places to sell their houses because the prices were super high, and the functions of the place is like very typical. You can get only the same types of cafes and nothing else is there. not interested for anyone to go there. So we have these two examples to compare, and one is a good example of gentrification, let's say, and one is a really bad example. So it's it will be, I think, really interesting when you are here to show you these two places and compare them as well.
Yeah, cool.